I'm working on a personal piece with sci-fi races, and I want them to have a somewhat easy to control scoreboard that is live updating on a display that's mounted on the racers. Changing textures or materials on the fly could sound like it could be a tough task. We are diving into
user-defined attributes.
Hold on. It's not as bad as it sounds. Through some not so great workflows I've tried earlier, I ended up using attributes, which both turned out to be lightweight, easy to manage, and scalable. You start by taking all the materials or textures you want to switch between and place them into one master material. You want to add an attribute node. Set it to object, then type in the name of the attribute you want to reference. Mine is called ID Racer. Take the factor output and plug it into a round node. From the round node, go into a maximum node and then into a minimum node. Set the values to fit your range of switches. In my case, it's 1 to 9. Now you can route the attribute node through a series of compare and mix nodes. Plug the minimum value into the top value of the compare node. Do note that if you're doing it for shaders and not textures, you need to use a mix shader node. Route the output into the factor input of the mix node. Set the value of the first compare node to 2, wire your first shader or texture into slot A and the second one into B. Rinse and repeat until you have your whole range. Take the mix node's output and plug it into the A input on the next mix node. Take the value from your minimum node and plug it into the next compare node. Rinse and repeat. Remember to switch the value on each compare node and connect all textures to slot B on the mix nodes. This is the part that usually looks the most cluttered, but once it's set up, it's stable and it's easy to expand. For this to work, the attribute has to exist on the object. Select the object, go to Object Properties, go to Custom Properties, create a new property, click the little gear icon, switch it to integer, give it a property name that corresponds to the attribute node in your shader. Set the default value and set the range to match however many materials or textures you have. You can easily change textures or material simply by adjusting the value on the object. The material stays the same, only the attribute changes. Another advantage is that you can use the same master material on multiple objects. Each object has its own attribute value, and that makes it easy to keep things consistent while still giving each object its own variation.